Welcome to Your Known Unknown, where Source and I will help to shed light on what's unknown to you. Welcome to another episode. Another day, another dollar, right? Good morning. I hope this message finds you well. If it lands in your feed, there might be something corresponding to you that might resonate, might align, might shed some insight. So without further ado, let's get to it, let's into it, and let's pull some cards to see what we need to see. Let's take a look. We have the Judgment card reversed. As they run away. We have the Ace of Wands reversed. Today's intuitive messages are brought to you by self-to-self energy, meaning you're kind of creating your own freedom. You're kind of creating your own connection to an aha moment that allows you to find passion. Okay? In other words, you're in control, which is good. Very, very good. Opposing energy, the Devil, from what I just pulled. Supportive energy, the Fool. So what we were talking about in the last video, kind of finding this new default baseline, it feels a lot like it feels a lot like that baseline is the baseline. And when you get to that baseline, a lot of the fulfillment in life is not fulfilling. So you are creating your own fulfillment. And it's probably taken a very long time of actuating progress. Probably took a really long time of trial and error. And it will continue to take a lot of trial and error. But you're finding and figuring out what you agree with, what resonates with your soul, what aligns, right? 3:33 on the clock. It's not what you want to do. It's not what you'd rather be doing. And you're realizing that. You're realizing, man, on my day off the other day, all I did was errands, chores, physical work, like working out or jogging or doing something that charges the endorphins. And I stood in front of my projects that I've been talking about. And these projects where I'm like, oh, procrastinating because of A, it's the unknown. B, I'm afraid of success. C, I have it put in place where it's in people's environment, not my own private domicile. So as a people pleaser, as an ex-people pleaser, as a recovering people pleaser that I am, still don't like, you know, privacy interferes with confidence. But I'm not going to let it put me out. I've let things like that put me out for a very long time. And the energy of these cards is saying that you're somebody who's not wanting to be put out as well anymore, right? You want to take charge confidently, boldly, passionately. You owe it to yourself. Whatever it is that you are wanting to do, whatever it is, whatever idea that you have that you're like, God, that'd be such a cool and fun experience. Make the time to do it. Find the time to do it. You don't have to think so drastically. We just have to think drastically black and white. Yes and no. The gray area is where shit gets confusing. The gray area is where emotions live and flourish and surprise us. It's the drastic black and white that we like. So today I work. Today for 8 hours I work. After 8 hours, I go hobby. I go self-develop. I go XYZ. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. But you make the time to do it. You dedicate the time to do it. Everyone's story is different, so everybody has different possibilities and availabilities and capabilities. But again, you haven't just lived your life to have somebody else's idea pop into your awareness and have something be like, that's the answer. That would be great, you know? And I have no idea how to get through to the monetary validation that I am looking for in the end, but I trust and have faith from the proof that I've been given from synchronicities, from death, ego deaths, shadow work, from meditation and connection, from dreams, from inspiring feelings, notions, nudges, subtle movements in our energy bodies, our emotions, blah, blah, frickin' blah. All of these things have culminated to faith. They've culminated into faith. And that faith, by God, will get me where I am dreaming to be in the end, right? That's manifestation part 1. Part 2 is doing it, getting it done. And actually, manifestation, womanestation, doesn't matter. Do the do. Take the little steps. Move into that new project. You don't have to identify with what you've been doing your whole life in order to experience the best, you know? If it's not making you happy, if it's drudging on, if you have mental health issues or emotional imbalances that cultivated anxiety and all of these other things, these other, I want to say symptoms. I hate that term. It's so medicinal. People like are emotionally gripped to that word symptom, you know, but we've cultivated a lot of these symptoms through traumas, through heartbreaks, through betrayals, through detachments when we're not ready. And continuing on through all of that, being where you're at right now, watching this video, and all of that shit in the past, first off, has resulted in resilience. You're still here. Has resulted in perseverance. You're still pushing through. Has resulted in wisdom. You've experienced it and felt it and navigated it. Still are, could be, whatever. You're trying to validate your reality. And what's funny is that's what heals it in the first place. So, like you don't need an apology. You don't really need closure, but God damn it, closure and causes validation, and validation causes health. You know, like causes solidification, causes security. It's the what ifs, it's the wonder mind in life, the traumas, the side blinded experiences that resulted in trauma, right? The one I call them when you lower your walls of wonder down, you're susceptible to all forms of trauma, you know. But when you know, and you don't get affected by it, you're confident. So, as an example of that, you're doing the same thing within your experience for yourself, to yourself. Trying to, working on it. I probably sit up here and make it sound like all the bells and horns are going off for you in your life, but you're working on it. And that's the most important part. That is the part. that's the only part. All the tarot readers are like, you're stepping into a new level in a dimension, and it's like, maybe you're just like really starting to, you know, habitualize a routine, and you're really starting to feel dedicated to something, and that dedication is the portal you step through, you know. Again, it doesn't have to be all the bells and horns and whistles. It is what you make it, and it is how you perceive it. But how you're perceiving it is full of effort. It is effortfully, effervescently. You're doing it with effort, with determination, with discipline, with a judgment upon self that says, I owe this to myself. And yes, I will balance kindness in there so I don't get snappy at people and set boundaries too hard. And yes, I will try to stay compassionate and understanding, even though all I'm focused on is, yes, me, but it's not me. It's I. And there is a balance there. There is a difference there. There is a drastic black and white between me and I and us. There's you, there's me, there's I, there's we, there's us, there's they, there's them. The Five of Wands was on the bottom of the deck the whole time I was talking, and now it's popping up again. Just, you guys are just navigating me so perfectly today. Thank you. So in the external world, you're giving yourself the time of day, the focus you deserve. I think that's a good way to put it. You are adapting in to more self-focus in your day-to-days. And that's super, super important. In fact, that's great. And it's a small step, but it's a large step. It's like, damn, that splinter has just been festering, and finally one day, boop, it pops out, and you're like, that's it? That's how big that thing was? That was tiny. And it caused all that? Yeah. It did cause all that. And just with the simple, hey, maybe you wake up a half an hour earlier. Maybe you actually don't. Maybe you just set your alarm a half an hour earlier and snooze it 4 times every 15 minutes. And then you still kind of wake up at the same time, but you know, you're getting there. Yes. And don't quit there. And you don't have to snowball everything all the time. Anyways, okay. On more of the left-hand path, more of our internal comprehension, we're sitting with the Empress card. I like to kind of think of this as all the queens in the deck wrapped up into one. Fully elemental, fully embellishing your divinity, okay? You may not be honoring aspects of her yet, but it's intuitively nudged, And by taking those steps in the direction of what it is, those ideas, those feelings, those happiness, the things that you want, your dreams, your goals, stuff like that. And think smaller. Always think practical. Yes, the grandiose dreams and goals, but like smaller. What's your goal for tomorrow? What's your goal for today? Are you going to kick ass today? Do you have, what if your day was to wake up, do the same thing, go to work, and then you got to pick up your dog from the groomers after work and then go home and make dinner? Are you going to kick ass at it at least? Are you going to have the most fun you can have internally while you're doing it? Because I can't expect a different way anymore, personally. I can't anticipate not driving and feeling my emotions swirl and puddle, honoring each thought that pops up and questioning, sitting there why, and waiting for the next one to pop up just because it's meditational and it feels so good and it moves emotions. Every pinch and tinge of a nerve I feel, every breath that gets shaky, every flush of emotion I feel gets derived from a thought or download, you know. And those thoughts and downloads we're very aware of. And those feelings and nudges we're very aware of, right? And that's what the Empress is offering. And we want to honor her more. We want to honor her more by really tackling and taking on Five of Wands reversed, what we owe her but ourselves. And by her, I mean the Empress, obviously. But it's what we owe ourselves. And we owe ourselves a lot more than we really feel like we owe ourselves. We owe ourselves a lot. We owe ourselves the universe. We owe ourselves every bit of fulfilling our contracts before coming into this world. We owe ourselves every bit to step into our own destinies and our own purpose. We owe ourselves every bit to fall in love with ourselves full-heartedly and unconditionally. That there is no questions asked, that I'm literally just an eye inside of a meat bag, and this meat bag has feelings. Everything else, bliss and abundance, baby. Bliss and abundance, right? Even in the shittiest days, bliss and abundance, baby. It's just an emotion. It doesn't mean the world's ending. It's just a day. It doesn't mean it's life. Habits create patterns. Well, patterns create habits. Habits create mindsets. Mindsets create these kind of more blanketed, subjective perceptions of what life is feeling like. You know, we tend to create our own reality. So if you're eating a poor diet a lot, you're probably going to have more negative thoughts and feelings a lot, which when you think about, you know, the big picture and the small picture of things, you probably get a lot more negativity clouding your mind than the rest of them. But again, taking care of that is honoring the divine feminine. It's kind of like embodying masculine divinity and really taking charge and setting yourself up for success and being able to do these things that you can not have to think about, that you can autopilot. That's masculine energy. Giving yourself, and what that does is it sets her up for success. In my opinion, if I want to become something, I shift into, I'm not saying the negative as in like quite the polar opposite, but like the negative as in like a picture, like how it's got, its negatives. I slip into like this negative energy of it like, if you want to be something, like, how do I put that? It is different and it doesn't always work, but there have been some challenges where I'm just like, hey, maybe if I slip into overcoming myself with, cumbering myself with whatever it is and satisfying that fucking urge, maybe it will go away. Maybe that will help it resistantly ease away. And sometimes, yeah, it does. So, like, there's one thing I need to do. And by procrastinating, I know I'm procrastinating and I can't get myself... I hate that word, can't. I hate that word, hate. But I'm procrastinating. So now that I'm aware I'm procrastinating, let's trick myself and let's toxically do everything. Not toxically, but let's let's focus, get everything that I want to get done that is causing me to be distracted from the one thing that spirit and the divine and self ultimately want me to do. Okay, so it's been a few weeks. I'll be patient enough. I'll get these things done, but we're going to take care of them diligently. We're going to get these things. And what's funny is, by avoiding the passion hobby through fear and procrastination, I ultimately have taken care of so many other things in life, right? So it's kind of a win-win, kind of. But now we're running out of those distractions, and that's where the game changes, and that's where it's perfect. That's where you utilize your alchemy. You just kind of numb out, and you go start diving into it, I don't remember exactly what I said last time, but it was something like, you're not planning to create the perfection or to create whatever, but you jump into it and you get your hands dirty, right? So instead of getting bored, because we don't like getting bored, boredom causes problems. Boredom feels like a waste. We do like to be doing stuff. And if we're running out of things to do, right, then you're going to start to do more stuff and you're going to start to experience more. You need to find your own reason to get pulled in a direction. You need to find your own inspiration. Hopefully these words that I'm sharing with you, this message, helps fuel some of that inspiration to get you over that little hurdle, to take that next step. It has been weeks for me, and I have slowly unpacked my project of stuff one at a time. Why? A, because I'm comfortable with that. B, because it's my life, and I do have work and other things to do. And yes, I wish I could be at home doing this all the time, but we got bills to pay, and we're working strategically. We dedicate time strategically. We don't let time rule us. We rule with it, right? We make sure that our days are prioritized towards what's the most important thing to continue at this baseline we're at. And right now it is financial continuity. All right, reliable, secure income. Now I can keep my routine I can do with my eyes closed, with my hands tied behind my back. It took some time to get the muscle memory, the intuitive memory, the regimented memory down, but we got it. It took some time. But now we know this place like the back of my hand. Right now in life where I'm at, I know it. I know where I'm at in life right now. I like it. I know it, Spirit. Let's move forward. And Spirit can really only advance you so many times without you having to take the steps. You can work inwardly. You can work externally. I worked inwardly for a very long time. So when it came to doing external work, I did put a lot of it off, and Spirit's like, You'd have a lot more fun if you would do stuff. And I'm like, but I have trauma. And it was like this whole shifting and navigating of experiences and time. Time does heal all things. You got to have patience. You can't be mad at yourself. You can't get upset with yourself. Otherwise, the emotions won't go away. You do have to change. You do have to adapt. You have to observe and be aware and realize that things are working with you. And then it's like things are working for you. You become aware of that, observe that, be grateful for that. The next step, or intermittently stepped, they start working with you because you're able to work with you. You're able to feel better and get out of bed and push on through days. And then those days turn to weeks. Those weeks turn to years, and then you've proved yourself. Then you start to work for you. You start to do things for you. And then you are things. Just kidding. The Empress reversed, popping up. But this deck, I don't really do reversals in this deck. It's usually a very loud message. And I'm holding them reversed, so. The Empress, again, different deck coming through. This is what we're doing. We're honoring her. We're giving her everything she needs, deserves. With no weight. Unconditionally give her what she deserves, I'm being told to say. There is no conditionalized love with this. There is no conditionalized offering. She's not one to hold up against a wager. She'd be like, no, give it to me or fuck off, pretty much. So give it to her or don't, you know? Can't be like, oh, if I do this, this will happen and that'll happen. No. See, me and my masculine are working together right now. I told him, I was like, let's just get all the shit out of the way because I'm tired of this and it seems like I'm gonna just let's just trick us. And he's like, bet, let's do it. Let's get it out of the way. Death card. Is that what we're gonna do? I feel that one. And we're going to leave the day on that, the death card popping up. That is a huge message after all of this because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And it's going to be I just hear like transitional, motivational, moving, magical. It's going to be exhilarating. It's going to put you in a place where stagnicity is not a key factor in how and what we go through to stabilize our moods. Something like that. Ultimately, it's going to put you in more of a place of self-control, self-contentment. You're going to be busy. Not like movement busy. You're going to be busy growing. You're going to be busy understanding, thinking, critically thinking, observing, watching, learning. You're going to teach yourself a lot of stuff. You're going to teach yourself a lot of stuff. You're going to learn a lot from yourself. And I feel that is probably one of the most beautiful things I've heard in a really long time, actually. And I can't wait. Kind of makes me want to cry a little bit. we're going to learn a lot from ourselves, about ourselves, for ourselves. And that's the best power you can have. So we are complete. I'm going to take a deep breath and disconnect from the channel. You can join in if you would like. Just one deep breath, please. I hope this message finds you well. If it resonates with you, like, share, subscribe. It's been a lot of fun to be able to connect through on this. And hopefully it helps you, guides you, lights your way. And yeah, thank you for receiving me. Thank you for being, and just thank you in general. I love you. And until next time.